Here's a fact that should break your brain a little. Uber is one of the largest transportation companies in the world, and it owns almost no vehicles. It doesn't own the cars. It doesn't buy the gas. For most of its history, it didn't even employ the drivers. Think about how strange that is. The biggest taxi company in dozens of cities has no taxis. The biggest food delivery business in many countries has no kitchens and no delivery vans on its books. So, if Uber doesn't own the thing it sells you, a ride, what exactly did investors pour tens of billions of dollars into? The answer is the most valuable thing in a modern economy, and it's invisible. Uber doesn't sell rides. It sells a match. On one side of your phone, there's a person who needs to get somewhere. On the other side, there's a person sitting in a car who'd happily earn money driving them. For all of human history, those two people had almost no way to find each other in the 30 seconds it mattered. You stood on a corner with your arm out and hoped. Uber's entire business is closing that gap, instantly, anywhere at scale. It's not a car company. It's a matchmaker that happens to move people. Engineers and investors have a name for this design: asset light. The idea is simple and ruthless. Own as little of the expensive, breakable, depreciating physical stuff as possible, and own the layer that coordinates it. The cars rust. The cars crash. The cars need insurance, oil changes, new tires, and parking. Every one of those is a cost and a headache. Uber looked at the traditional taxi business, which owned all of that, and made a cold decision. Let someone else own the metal. We'll own the software, the map, the payment, and the relationship. The driver takes on the depreciating asset. Uber takes a cut of every trip that asset makes. Now watch what that does to the economics. A normal company that wants to grow has to buy more stuff. A hotel chain wanting more rooms has to build more hotels, concrete, steel, years of construction. But when Uber wants to add 1,000 more cars to a city, it doesn't buy 1,000 cars. It just convinces 1,000 more drivers to download the app. The cars already exist. They're sitting in driveways all over the world, paid for by someone else, depreciating on someone else's balance sheet. Uber's growth doesn't require Uber's money. It borrows the world's idle cars and takes a percentage for making them useful. And here's the part that makes a marketplace genuinely powerful: the same loop that protects Visa or any great network. The more riders open the app, the more drivers want to be on it, because that's where the money is. The more drivers are on it, the shorter your wait, the cheaper your ride, the better your experience. So more riders come. Each side pulls the other in. Economists call it a network effect. I call it a flywheel that spins itself. A brand new competitor faces a brutal cold start. No drivers means long waits. Long waits means no riders. No riders means no drivers. Uber already broke that loop in city after city, and the spinning flywheel is the moat. Let me push back on my own story, though, because the asset-light dream has a sharp edge that nearly cut the company in half. For years, Uber lost staggering amounts of money, billions a year. Why? Because owning no cars doesn't mean owning no costs. To pull riders away from taxis and rivals, Uber subsidized cheap fares. To pull drivers onto the platform, it paid generous bonuses. It was effectively buying both sides of its own marketplace with investor cash, betting that once it dominated the city, it could ease off the subsidies and finally keep a profit. For a long stretch, the critics had a fair point. A business that owns nothing and loses billions isn't a miracle. It's a bonfire. So what flipped it? Scale and the quiet power of a percentage. Once enough rides flowed through the app every day, Uber's cut of each one started to outweigh the cost of running the platform. The expensive part, building the technology, the maps, the payment system, is mostly a fixed cost. You build it once. After that, the millionth ride in a city costs Uber almost nothing extra to coordinate. That's the same low marginal cost magic that makes software businesses so profitable. The road is built, and every new trip that drives down it is nearly pure margin. Owning no cars finally paid off, but only after the network got big enough to feed itself. And here's the contrarian truth most people miss about the gig economy. Uber didn't just dodge the cost of cars. It dodged the cost of being an employer. The drivers, for the most part, aren't staff, they're independent contractors. That means no guaranteed wage, no benefits, no idle time pay when no one's riding. Uber gets a workforce that scales up on a busy Friday night and vanishes on a slow Tuesday afternoon, and it only pays when money is actually being made. That flexibility is a real advantage for the company, and it's exactly why this model is fought over in courtrooms and parliaments around the world. The savings Uber captured are, in part, the costs and protections a traditional employer used to carry. Step back, and the real lesson comes into focus, and it's bigger than one app. The most modern, valuable businesses increasingly try to own the thinnest, smartest layer of an industry. The coordination, while pushing the heavy, expensive, risky physical parts onto everyone else. Airbnb does it with rooms it doesn't own. Delivery apps do it with kitchens they don't run. The platform sits in the middle, owning the match, the data, and the payment, and lets the world supply the hard assets. It's the toll booth instinct again, dressed in an app. Don't build the road, don't drive the cars, just stand at the junction where supply meets demand and take a slice of everything that passes through. So the next time you watch your little car icon slide across the map toward you, remember what you're actually using. Not a taxi company. A vast, invisible switchboard matching millions of strangers and their idle cars in real time, owning almost none of the metal involved, and taking a quiet cut of every match it makes. Uber's genius was never the car. It was realizing that in a connected world, the most valuable thing you can own isn't the vehicle. It's the moment two people find each other. If you want a next breakdown, subscribe. One new company every few days. Next time, we'll pull apart another business that's far stranger and far richer than it looks.